Welcome back, everybody, one more time to another episode here on the Sitrep Podcast channel. I am your host, Ariskany Jim, and today I am joined by my friend Rasmus. Mr. Rasmus,
Hello.
How are you doing? What's up?
Not so bad.
Cool.
It's Sunday out all.
This is true. We're finally getting some of our spring weather, or I should say our summer weather down here, where it's going to rain for the next 4 months. But that's okay, it's the only thing that keeps the heat under control. And then comes hurricane season, so not looking forward to that so much. All right, everybody. So on today's episode of Sitrep Podcast, we're gonna sort of get back to our roots a little bit with some modern special forces operations. But I wanted to put a little bit of a different spin on it from the usual tier 1 operator stuff that we do all the time. These guys are still tier 1. They're just they don't really play for our team. Let's just put it that way. So today we are looking at some Spetsnaz, some old school Soviet era Spetsnaz, by the way. This isn't like FSB, Foreign Security Bureau or Foreign Security Branch. It's the kind of Spetsnaz that we see today, complete with the bat signal insignia and all that craziness. We're talking about old school Gorbachev era Spetsnaz. 1985, specifically the 411th Special Services Detachment of 22nd Special Services Brigade GRU Spetsnaz. So yeah, we're in the middle of the first Afghanistan. I shouldn't say the first Afghanistan war. Just been Afghanistan war since literally Alexander the Great. But the Soviet Afghanistan war in 1985.
The Soviet version of it.
Yeah. Where they kind of ran into a lot of the same problems that the coalition would run into, in later decades.
Isn't that what everybody run into the moment they go into Afghanistan?
Yeah, Afghanistan has a lot of similar problems. Very, very rough terrain, very, very poorly advanced and poorly maintained infrastructure, which makes it tough for any kind of advanced army for the time. I mean, Alexander the Great had a tough time going through Afghanistan back in the day. Of course, they didn't even call it Afghanistan in those days. Again, for a lot of the same reasons, they're having a tough time in Afghanistan now, is there aren't enough roads. And there's mountains everywhere, and there's these narrow little valleys that's easy to be ambushed in. Bad infrastructure affects tank columns, it affects, technicals, it affects cavalry, and, chariots, and, if you always need roads. So some of the problems are the same, going all the way back, specifically for the Soviets in the 80s, and for us in the aughts and in the teens. An additional problem that Alexander and the British and everybody else didn't have to deal with was the altitude. With very, very high altitude, again, the entire country is pretty much on a plateau at least, and then on top of that are mountains. The air gets very, very thin. And with thin air means helicopters have a very difficult time flying comparatively in this part of the world, especially those big Soviet birds like Mi-8 Hips and Mi-24 Crocodiles or Hinds or whatever you want to call them. The Mi-24 had a very difficult time. Great big slow helicopters, heavily armored, heavily armed. They already kind of struggle with a power to weight ratio, and now you put them in this very, very thin mountain air. Yeah, they had a hell of a time operating in here. So Spetsnaz was very famously involved in the very opening day of the Afghanistan War in 1979. I can't remember the name of the operation, but they basically landed 300 Spetsnaz troops in Kabul with their, or Kabul if you prefer, in like the presidential palace. Half of them were disguised as civilians. The rest of them went in, full tactical. They wiped out like 300 people. I think they just outright assassinated the current president or the sitting president of Afghanistan. And it's a hell of a mess. I didn't really want to do that one because number one, it sounds like they really just butchered up a bunch of civilians, or at the very least, very surprised like bodyguards and militia guards and things like that. And it's a famous operation, so I would have to do a lot more research. And I pretty much had like one day to put this together. So I didn't really want to do that one. Spetsnaz becomes a lot more involved in Afghanistan. Its role is expanded with a second Special Service Brigade. starting in early 1985. So I think Gorbachev takes power in March of 85, and as soon as that happens, he kind of wants out of Afghanistan as quickly as possible. And as we see in Iraq, in Syria, and Afghanistan, in our own history, too many times in these parts of in these conflicts in this part of the world, when you want to get out of a conflict, the way is forward. You can't just turn around and leave. You have to kind of drive your way out forward. So yeah, additional special forces were sent in Afghanistan. They tried to rely more on special forces for more surgical, more precise kind of special operations work as opposed to just grunt infantry. You know, sending in more and more mortar rifle battalions just to get chewed up by these Mujahadeen and so on. So specifically, we're looking at 22nd, like I said, Special Services Brigade, specifically the 411th Detachment. And their big job was to, among other things, but primarily, was to try and seal off these routes in eastern Afghanistan. When we were in there, the big mission was to seal off those routes to keep Al-Qaeda from escaping out of Kabul into Pakistan. In the Soviet part of the war, it's kind of the opposite. They want to seal off these routes because these Mujahideen rebels are receiving tons of American aid, pretty much Western aid, but mostly American aid, out of Pakistan. So it's kind of coming the other way. And it was funny, before we started the stream, everybody, Rasmus and I were talking about this game and, you know, looking over the different forces. And, like, the very first words out of his mouth were, "Are there any stingers on the table?" And I was like, no. And this, I mean, because it's very early in that part of the war. Again, we're only in 85. I don't think stingers really came into it until a little bit later. I could be wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure that came in later. But that's exactly the kind of thing that 411th 22nd Special Services Brigade is trying to prevent. It's trying to keep Americans, CIA, NSA, DOD, all these others, you know, Black Ops operations guys, here in the Peshawar Highlands from, you know, egressing and infiltrating those arms and equipment into their, at the time, Mujahadeen allies. Of course, these guys would not really be our allies in later decades. Irony, irony. But at the time, they were our bestest buds, because reasons. Cold War makes for some strange bedfellows sometimes. So there near Asadabad in the Kunar province is the specific area of today's focus. And zooming in a little bit, yeah, here's a little bit of a better map of the area. If we zoom in a little bit, we are looking at today's specific target area. Again, these tiny mountain passes. The Muj are not just going to roll straight down these major highways, like straight here through Jalalabad, over here to Bagram Airfield, all these other places that we've heard of in the news. We're not heading, obviously, because the Soviets control those roads. There are tank columns, there are motor rifle battalions, everything's controlling those highways. So if the CIA are trying to get supplies and equipment to Mujahideen allies, they're going to have to use these tiny little back roads that we see here. And this is going to be, it's not a specific operation that we're doing today. This part of the war is, of course, extremely poorly documented. Spetsnaz and GRU operations have remained classified even through the fall of the Soviet Union, even through the Yeltsin era when everything was open. These still remain closed up. And especially in the Putin era, these are probably about 30-meter hexes or so, roughly 100 feet. The objective hexes are marked in yellow. We have the usual 5 objective hexes. Although here I only see 4. What the hell happened to my 5th objective hex? Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we saw on our map earlier, the Soviets are coming in from the west. The Mujahideen are already kind of set up, as we see here on the table. The Mujahideen personnel rules are not allowed to set up within 5 hexes of a victory hex. Otherwise, the Mujahideen player would just, you know, camp all over the victory hexes and say, you know, come at me, bro. It's a valid tactic. They would just make for a very boring game. So we're not doing that. Let me get rid of that debris there. Sorry about that. So let's go over the forces here super fast. Unless you have any questions or comments so far, Rasmus.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay,
as
so
straightforward as this sort of thing is.
yeah, straightforward in modern war is almost a contradiction in terms.
Yeah.
So we do have two I'm sorry, I almost said Hind. Oh my God, MI8 HIP transport burns. This is the first time we're using helicopters, really, in Sitrep Skirmish. So I didn't want to overload the game or blow it up with anything super powerful like Mi-24 Hind gunships. Mi-24 Hind gunships could do this mission. Mi-24 Hind gunships can carry 6 troops, and there's only 5 troops per team. We have 2 teams of 5 here basically. So Mi-24s could do this. Could totally do this. I'm just, for game purposes and experimentation purposes, again, Sitrep Skirmish is the kind of game that is constantly being kind of built on the fly. We are kind of doing things, in baby steps. So I have some basic helicopter rules. We're going to see how they work out today.
And if you wanted a Hind, you probably needed the Stinger as well.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. When we do bring in Hinds, which I do want to do, yeah, it's going to be also with the Stingers. And also, honestly, and this is something I run across in a lot of other skirmish games, bolt action, force on force, skirmish Sangan, stuff like that. Although I have never actually played skirmish Sangan myself, I've seen tables of it. Skirmish games, I think, have a bit of a ceiling. Maybe not technically, but thematically. Like, do you really bring an M1 Abrams battle tank into a skirmish Sangan game? Technically, you could, because there were,
only really if the game is set as it's one Abrams being attacked in this street in a backwater town somewhere.
Yeah, it'd have to be somewhere in Iraq, and you'd have to. Technically, I think Skirmish Sangan is written for Afghanistan, but obviously you're able to use the system all over the world. But at the same time, I mean, skirmish games, like, can you bring in an A-10 Warthog into a skirmish game? Well, technically yes, but do you really want to? I'm not saying that Hinds will never appear in Sitrep Skirmish, but that's probably about as powerful as it's going to get. But for now, again, we're just using Mi-8s. Then, like I said, we have 2 teams of Soviet Spetsnaz, again, in the old 1980s Spetsnaz camouflage. If you've ever seen Rambo 3, there's a reference. If you've ever seen Rambo 3 or Red Dawn, probably not the most realistic of movies in either case. However, you do see this camouflage pattern. This is some very distinctive Spetsnaz kind of stuff. You don't see the blue and white striped shirt because, number one, the angle would prevent it here, and that's only for naval associated Spetsnaz. There was air and ground, there was national defense or national guard, and then there was also naval, which I think Spetsnaz in the naval force was an offshoot of their naval infantry battalions. I could be wrong about that. But they have different color berets. Spetsnaz isn't just one unit. But here I tried to go for the Afghanistan air and ground branch. Again, we're going with 22nd Special Services Brigade. So again, they've got the distinctive camouflage. They've got that Afghansi bush hat that you see in a lot of photographs. It's almost kind of like a bush hat you will see in almost any other service, except it's just a desert tan. It's not the same color as their camouflage, because reasons. We've got guys with the standard AK-74 assault rifle. We've got AK-74 assault rifle with the under-barreled, I think it's a GL-25 40mm grenade launcher. We've got the SVD Druganov, if I'm saying that right, the sniper rifle. The PKM, medium machine gun. And of course an RPG. And then the other team has the same thing. They're considered
because of course you need an RPG.
Yeah, and they're considered operators, so they get D10 defense dice. And that's pretty much the entire force. Again, there's no interpreter in this one. There's no militia that changes sides. This is not a street battle where, here it's much more of a stand-up, counterinsurgency force versus militia rebels. Let's have a battle. So this particular scenario of Sitrep Skirmish is going to be simpler than many others, but it's going to be more complex than many others because, again, we're bringing in helicopters. So we kind of, 6 dozen in one hand, or a half dozen in one hand, 6 in the other. The moves are also kind of simple. They're basically AK-47 guys, PKM medium machine gun guys, and each squad has one, or squad air quotes, Mujahadeen rebels. They don't really organize in squads. One RPG. They are considered militia, so they're only getting D6 defense dice. One hit and they're gone. Same as with other Sitrep skirmish games. We do have one AK guy with a gray beard. He is the leader, the Iman leader. He's just an older guy, so he's in charge. And there is a CIA operator on the table, so watch out for him. The Muj also have 2 technicals that do have dushkas. Those are mostly going to be a problem for the helicopters. Speaking of helicopters, we have some special rules for our helicopters. Okay, so how hard it is to fly a helicopter depends on how low you're flying. The lower you are flying the helicopter, the more problems you're going to have. Again, the air is very thin, so this is not typical helicopter flight. These are helicopters flying at the absolute limit of their altitude, and they're dodging fire, hence the tactical evasive check, and also through very tight mountain passes and valleys and so on. It's easy to fly a Y-wing until you're flying it down the Death Star trench. Then it gets difficult.
Yep.
Okay, so in game terms, if there are 5 levels of elevation on the board. Let me get to where you can see the whole board here super fast. I hope the map is clear. I tried to make it as clear as I could. Obviously, we have water in the valleys and roads in the valleys along with some trees. That's level 0. Okay, and then whenever you cross a yellow elevation line, it casts its shadow downward. So you can tell which way that... Okay, cool. Because sometimes people have a hard time because they have to look at this on their own computer screen, and sometimes their computer screens are not as big as mine. So just to help out here, there's a yellow line, and then the shadow casts downward. So that's elevation level 2. Give me a little pen here. This obviously begins elevation level 2, elevation level 3, elevation level 4, elevation level 5. Elevation level 5 is the tallest elevation on the table. There are really only 2 spots for it. There's this spot here, and then there's this cliffside. That red or pinkish, whatever you want to call it, right there along M12, L12, N11, that's a cliff. So it costs an additional point of movement to go up. Not for helicopters, because helicopters have infinite movement, but for ground vehicles and ground troops, it costs an additional point of movement to go up an elevation level. There are some hexes when you go from the center dot to the center dot, you'll be crossing 2 elevation levels. I think there are none that require 3, except the pink or this red line. That's a cliff. Okay, I think that actually goes up 4, if not 5 elevation levels. 4 elevation levels. It goes from 1 to 5, so that's 4. You cannot, nothing can cross a cliffside except a helicopter. I think that's the only one. Yeah, that little red line there. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so whatever your lowest level at, again, when you're flying your helicopter, Rasmus, you go however you want. You just have to show me what hexes you're going through, because you might come within range of my air defense weapons.
Yep.
Okay, so barring that, whatever your hex goes through, you just tell me what the lowest elevation that you're ever at. Obviously, the lower the elevation, the more dangerous it is. However, it also, if you're like, if you're at a certain elevation and there's elevation between me and you that is higher than that, I can't see you. So it's safer in some ways, more dangerous than the others. You can hit the rocks a lot faster at lower elevation. You'll catch less RPGs and dushkas at lower elevation.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And in order to fast rope your troops in, whatever elevation you're trying to drop them in at, you have to be at least that low, or you can be 1 level higher. So let's say you wanted to fast rope your troops here into L7. That's an elevation 2 hex. You can go as low as elevation 3. Or I should say, you have to be at least elevation 3. You can't fast rope.
Yeah, because you need to be over elevation too, so it makes sense.
You have to be over elevation too, and you get a +1 bonus. Because again, your helicopter doesn't have to go all the way down. The lower the elevation, the more dangerous it is. So if you're fast roping your troops in, if you want to drop them into a low place, it's whatever elevation you're dropping them in at +1. So you get a little bit of grace there. That's to drop them off. They cannot fast rope back into the helicopter. If you want to pick them up again, you have to land on the deck. Then you have to make the roll for that elevation. Obviously, the lower the elevation, the better you are. I'm sorry, the more dangerous it is. If there's a crash from just a flight error or whatever, in other words, if you fail one of these rolls, the helicopter is wrecked. I get victory points for that. And then we roll to see who's wounded, including the pilot and co-pilot, just for victory point purposes. The helicopters can insert troops from one level above. We just talked about that. To land, you have to actually land in the hex. And then for me to hit a helicopter is actually pretty hard. I have to roll a 6 up. As the Mujahadeen player rolling militia, most of my dice are only d6s anyway. So if you kind of go back to my force, most of my guys only throw d6s, so I'm going to have to get a 6. Then again, enough AK fire will take down a hip. These are not armored, helicopters.
And they're not armed helicopters either.
No. Some hips, just for people in the chat, are armed, but they aren't here in the game. However, there is something called the Afghanistan saving roll. Russian helicopter pilots in Afghanistan, no matter what you feel about the Soviet Union or their effort in Afghanistan, Russian helicopter pilots in Afghanistan were hard as balls, man. They did not play around. They called them Afghansis. They were just as badass as some of the legendary helicopter pilots you read about in Afghanistan, except, again, they were flying through whisper-thin air and dodging stingers. Two things that American helicopter pilots in Vietnam never had to deal with. So they were badasses and highly respected by their ground troops. Those that could cut it. Not everybody made it, obviously. So whenever a Russian helicopter gets hit, it just automatically gets a 5+ save roll. Otherwise, these helicopters are going to be falling out of the sky way too easy. If I score a vehicle disabled on the vehicle damage table, we do a crash as listed above. If I get a vehicle wrecked result, it's a hard crash. The chopper goes down, and then everybody aboard, including pilots and co-pilots, have to make a roll on the wound table with a +1 modifier. So they're probably going to get hurt a lot more seriously in a hard crash than a controlled crash.
Yep.
Okay, other than that, it's the standard turn sequence minus all that militia street events silliness. So again, that part of the game will be a little bit simpler. Oops.
We don't need to worry about how much noise is being made.
No, you're up in the Afghanistan highlands. You don't have to worry about pissing off the civilians. It's Russian Spetsnaz. You're one step short of nerve gassing these people. Yeah, so all that political correct bullshit just flew out the window. In 1985, man, nobody cares. They're still making Rambo movies.
Yep.
All right, so my Muj are set up. Unless you had any other questions, which again, we're bringing in new rules here, so please feel free.
Coming in the A column, right?
Yep, anywhere on the western side of the table. So let me get a copy of the turn sequence here. Again, we're going to be able to ignore a lot of this. So no determined threat level, no rule street events, no ambivalent. There's no ambivalence. It's your turn first. We can skip the hostile turn. Operator vehicle movement. Here come the helicopters. Now you don't have to come in helicopters if you don't want to. Your helicopters have to be on the table, but if you want one or both of your teams to come in on foot, they can. It would technically be safer, but that's up to you. I mean, one objective hex is within reach right off the bat, but you will be taking opportunity fire from high ground, high ground, high ground. I mean,
yeah. As I said, cue the right of the Russian Valkyries.
There you go. Russian Valkyries are engaged. We have both hips going now. Oh no!
We'll start with one team coming in on A1.
Okay, so way up there in the northwest. Okay, so he enters there on terminal A1. Cool.
And he'll then move as straight as he can to G1.
To Delta 1, that's easy.
G, like golf. Golf
Oh,
1.
G. Okay, gotcha. I thought you said D. Okay. Actually, let me get rid of that. That's nasty looking. Cool. Over to G1.
And then over H1.
Okay.
I think he'll need to take a height bump to do that.
Well, once you get to wherever it is you're going, you just tell me what your lowest elevation was. Just, you know, you can have the whole thing flying at elevation 5. You can be flying nice and high. Now,
Yes.
if you do that, I can see you and I can shoot at you. If you go lower, I may not be able to see you because of this elevation 5, but then you have to roll for navigational hazard.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're a real helicopter pilot and you have to make difficult choices.
Oh yeah, it's all about the choices. And then I think we gun it straight over the valley over to R7.
As soon as I can remember the alphabet. Oh yeah, we're right into the... Okay.
And then up to R11.
Up to R11?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so just so I know when I have line of sight and when I don't, what was your lowest altitude?
Well, we'll do it all the way on the highest altitude.
Okay, cool. So that's automatic. You automatically succeed because you're basically flying at high altitude. You know, you're being safe. So if you actually look at the table here,
let's draw some fire.
Yeah. What you are going to do, however, is take some gunfire. Now the question is, how much do I want to throw at you? Because again, if I fire, that means I don't get to fire during my fire phase.
And you don't get to fire at the second heli.
Yeah. So who is coming in first? All right. Well, for sure, this group is going to fire. I'll tell you that much for free. All right. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here, which will be the best kind of flight path. I probably should use a different tool for that. Okay, there is an RPG in there. It has a range of 6. I was within 6 hexes at one point. I do have a high. I am on high altitude. So it's 1d8, and I have to roll a 6 up to hit. Let's get lucky. That's a 4. That's a miss. No. Okay, so again, he only gets a 1d8. So these values, guys, have been slightly updated to make them a little bit more clear. It's 1d8. The star means it affects everything in the hex. This is an explosive weapon, and the 6 is the range. So on most of these values, the attack dice is also equal to the range. So an AK-47 shoots longer in a operator's hands than it does in a militia's hands, and the ballistics of the weapon haven't changed, but the training has changed, so it's just better skill with it. Some weapons, however, do have a lot bigger bang than they have a reach. Shotguns, grenade launchers, RPGs. So for some weapons, I am putting in some changed, well, I should say some split values, with the attack firepower and the range are slightly different. All right, so that was a miss. I also have 6 AKs in there. Or I have 3 AKs in there. Each of them throw 2d6.
6 dice worth of AKs, yep.
Here's what I meant to say. Okay. Let's see if we get any hits here. Look at that, man.
5 ones.
They all... look at that. Guys, we are off and running on another Oriskany game. Right there. I needed a 6
Did you expect to be playing Panzer Leader with those numbers?
I was going to say, dude, if I was playing Panzer Leader, this game's already over. Whatever I just shot at is a mushroom cloud of death. All right, so they've already fired. That could have been better. Okay, put an opportunity fire there. Oh, before I get too far invested in this, let me actually start the game on the correct damn table here, or I'm sorry, tab. Turn 1. Okay, cool. All right, so anyone else? Let me see. All right, so you said you were coming in to G1, H1,
H1,
and then you went
R7.
to R7. And then down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this group also has line of sight. However, there are no RPGs in there. I'm sorry, I should say I'm talking about
Yep.
this group here. There is a PK, there are 2 PKMs in there. Okay, so that's going to be 1,
A lot
2,
of D6s.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What about the technical?
I'm going to do that separately.
Okay.
The 2 guys in the technical don't get to shoot their own weapons. The technical itself rolls 3d8s. But first I'm going to do the d6s. And again, there is a save after this, and even if the save fails, to damage with an AK round is not the best. The Dushka and the RPGs are the big threat, to be honest. Alright, so hopefully some more d6s. Hello, Damon! You're just in time to see me fail again. Here we go. Oh, hell no, we got 2 hits that time. Alright, so you get 2 d6s. That was a 6, guys, sorry.
Yep.
You get 2 Afghanistan rolls, 2 d6s. You need a 5 or 6 on both of them.
1 5 and
okay,
1 1.
So 1 saved, 1 didn't. So we got 1 confirmed hit so far with a d6. Alright, cool. Now I've got 3 d8s from my Dushka. It's on the back of that truck. Again, they need d6. They need 6 ups. Obviously, with a d8, you get a little bit of a better chance. Except I roll with... Oh, I got 1 hit. Alright, so another saving roll for you, sir.
4. So.
Alright, so that is another miss. Alright, so I got 1 Dushka hit and I got 1 AK hit. Alright. Those are going to have 2 different effects. Down here to the new vehicle damage table. Slightly tweaked. Okay, so a d6 for each small arms hit. Basically, I have to roll a 6 to do anything. Basically, I can't shoot down the bird, but I can hit people inside the bird. And then I get a d8 for the 50 cal hit. That might actually shoot down the helicopter if I roll a 7 or an 8. It's kind of tough to shoot down a helicopter. Alright, so here's my d6. A 4 is vehicle okay, armor plating absorb the weapons fire or shrapnel. And then for my d8 hit.
You're not showing your camera, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, thank you. They both failed anyway. I got a 4 and a 1. Alright, so I did hit the
Not that I don't trust you, it's just since I know you got it, we might as well.
It's good for the show.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going all in. I'm going to try to at least damage this helicopter. Alright, I got... How did I get... Okay, no I didn't. I have 6 more d6s in here.
Do I get within 6 of that group?
You know what? I gotta come up with a better way to mark this thing so it doesn't keep. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Because this drawing tool is very convenient, but it doesn't like save its position.
It's very trans.
Yeah.
I don't. Yep.
Come on. Actually, no. Insert shapes. This will hopefully be better. Alright, now I'm going to make this super big so we can see it easily. At least I thought I was. Oh my god, really, guys? check out Mr. Chat. At least now, once I put it there, it'll stay there, and then it'll size with zoom and so on. So you went to
H1.
G1, down to H1, and then from H1 to R7. Much better. And then from R7 to ELZ. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, I don't. So he will not get a shot at opportunity fire.
I try to avoid them.
Again, because you're at high altitude, these trees and this elevation will not matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, this group is not as powerful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this group will get the fire, this group will get the fire, this group will not.
Oh, the other technical were down there. Oh well.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 altogether. Just a shit ton of
small arms.
To com block. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You're not showing the camera.
Oh, I know. I'm literally still counting dice.
Yep.
1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, cool. Here we go. Do it for the motherland! Zaradu! After all that, I only got one. Make a saving roll.
F4.
Okay, so that's a hit. Okay, and then just to wrap all this up at once and kind of get it out of the way, that other group is now going to fire. Ooh, an RPG and a Dushka in there. Okay, so RPG gets 1d8. Now this I do want to show, because this is important. If I hit a helicopter with an RPG, stand by. Of course I miss. Okay, now the Dushka is going to fire. 3d8, but the 3d8 are not nearly as powerful. Then it's going to be 2 hits, so 2 chances to save.
A 6 and a 4. So.
That's 1 hit, 1 miss. And last but not least, there is 1 AK guy in there for 2 more d6. Again, the AK guys in the truck don't get. Oh, there are 2 AK guys in there. 3. 1, 2, 3. We fired the Dushka. We fired the Dushka. We fired the RPG.
Yep.
All right, so there's a total of 6.
A lot of guys in that hex.
Well, he's within range of like 3 objective X's. I try to get him where he can cover a lot. And I only got 1 more hit, so try to roll a save.
A 5.
Alright, that's saved, so that comes back out. Okay, so a d6 damage. Nope. A d8 damage. Finally! Did something.
Ouch.
Okay, so the last guy, as he enters that hex, there is going to be a bit of a possible vehicle is disabled. Okay, the chopper does crash. It stopped in hex. Passengers. Oh wait. Helicopter rolls. Everybody rolls on the room table. Okay,
yes.
so the helicopter is here. It did make it. However, it did kind of crash. So I get points for that. And then after that, it's going to, all the troops that were in that helicopter are going to roll on the room table. So get out the worst d6 you have, the d6s that always roll low for you.
Yep.
And you're going to roll 1 for each person in that first team. And make sure I got the right guys. You want a lot of 1s and 2s. Okay, I have a... Yep, squad leader is Mashaga. That's my Russian Dark Star character, by the way. I've got the PKM guy, I've got the grenade launcher guy, I've got the sniper, and I've got the... Why do I... What the hell? Oh, the RPG. Okay, yeah, we got it.
Yep.
Cool. Alright, so roll for Mashaga.
A3.
Okay, I think he's okay. Well, light, oh no, severe wound, sorry. -1 to all dice classes. Okay, so he has a severe wound. but he's still operational. He just has a penalty. Okay. Your RPG gunner?
A1.
He is definitely okay. Your grenadier?
Another one.
Sweet. Saw gunner? Or
A 3.
okay, he is severely wounded. I should say your PKM gunner and your sniper. Kirikov.
And the sniper 2.
He's okay. All right, so
That
far
could have been
yeah, so
a lot worse.
Now at the same time, again, you're pretty much going to table the Muj because you've seen how these games go. I do so far have 8 points. 6 for the bird and 1 for each slight wound, or I should say severe wound. The victory conditions are specified here. Soviets get 1 point for every Muj figure eliminated. They get 3 points for the CIA guy if you can kill him. You get 5 points if you can capture the CIA guy. Duct tape that son of a bitch to a chair somewhere. Oh, I get 2 points for a severe wound result. Okay, so I got 10 points so far. I got 6 for the aircraft and 2 for each, whatchamacallit. I did just lose an objective X though, unless I can take it back, which I doubt. Okay, so that's vehicle movement for the first helicopter. That was pretty much everybody unless you get within 6 hexes of Golf 9 for your second bird. So I'm pretty sure I shot just about everybody.
I think you did.
Technically, I never fired these guys. One thing that does happen before I forget, I did fire from these hexes, so they are no longer concealed. They are only covered. Because you kind of know where they are.
And they probably should have the up fire marker as well.
Yeah, I will definitely do that as well. Never fired this group either. So, cool. Did fire these guys. I mean, we know everyone fired op fire, but you're right. I made the counters, I might as well use them. Also, it keeps...
And if you're gonna do a battle report, it's a lot easier to remember.
Always gotta remember that. Okay, these guys did not, these guys did not, these guys, although there's only 2 guys there. Those guys did not. Also, I should make a special rule, even though that CIA guy has a D8, you can't shoot down a helicopter with a submachine gun. So he does not get to shoot at helicopters. That's just dumb. That's a common sense rule there. Okay, so that's movement for the first helicopter.
The second one will follow the same in until H1.
Okay, so second copter, I should say second bird comes in. Follows the same one until you said H1. Okay.
H1, yeah. Then it'll go to N4.
November 4. As soon as I remember the alphabet. Okay.
And then we'll get out there.
Okay. If you're going to try to land troops, you got to elevation level 2. You don't take any ground fire, but you're going to have to get to at least elevation level 3 because you're trying to land troops on elevation level 2.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Toughy Ears. Thanks very much for coming out.
And I'm going over a level 4 as well, so.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
The game doesn't require you to roll for every elevation you're at. You would just lose by rule of averages. So what I'm doing is, okay, once you declare your movement, whatever the lowest one was on your previous helicopter, the lowest was 5. 5 is automatic. Here, you're trying to land troops on level 2. You can use fast ropes, so you don't have to go all the way down. You can get as low as level 3, and that means that you have to roll a 3 up on 1d10.
Yes,
So
I'll go down to level 3.
Yeah, well, if you want to land troops on level 2, you have to.
Yep. So your D10.
D10, you have to get at least a 3.
Hey, 4.
Sweet, you made it. The air got a little thin there for a second. A couple indicator lights came up. Got
Bit shaking.
Little bit of vibration in these pedals, man. But he is okay. And then he fast ropes in his troops safely. No roll required for the fast rope. The guys they're Spetsnaz. They know how to jump out of a helicopter.
They do that for breakfast.
A lot of these guys get recruited out of air assault regiments anyway. So. Alright, so that is team leader Tarenko, my Russian character from Wolves of Steel. Darovsky, Gorbachev, Polensky, come on Polensky, and Vakarev, Mr. Sniper, Mr. Death. Alright, cool. That completes vehicle movement. We will now do pedestrian movement. Your guys are on the deck. They're ready to move.
Yep. And they can both move and shoot, correct?
Yes, because they're individual troops. This is not Panzerleader or Valor Victory.
Yeah.
Again, this is a skirmish game, so it's almost a rip-off of Force on Force, if I'm being honest. Although it's kind of it's like Force on Force for dummies.
If we zoom in on the top team.
Okay.
Then we'll take the team leader, the guy with the underslung,
yep.
and the Pelensky.
The PK. I think I see what's coming.
And that'll move down to N5 and assault into N6.
Alright, there will be a little bit of op fire because these guys have not taken op fire yet. Okay. If I'm going to do that, I have to declare it now. I will declare it now. That will automatically get rid of the concealment there on their cover and conceal. 1, 2. In order to assault, you have to get in the hex, but you can do that easily. In fact, you can do that while only moving 2 hexes.
Yep.
So that means that you get to go in there with the concealment bonus. That's going to help.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the terrain, cover, and movement rules in this game are very, very simple. The movement is always 3. 3, 3, 3. Unless there are some modifiers. Number 1, if you only move 2, as you can see here, I drew the map specifically, and I also just kind of sourced the actual file. There's rocks, there's bushes, there's boulders. There's terrain in every hex. There's a little dry riverbed. Yeah, so fine. It's about how fast you're moving. So, if you're moving only 2 hexes a turn, you get to use the conceal bonus. If you use only 1 hex a turn, you get to use the covered bonus. If you move 0 hexes, you get to use covered
and concealed. Yep.
The only possible modifiers, or not the only possible modifiers, but the 2 big modifiers in this game are going to be elevation, but you are going downhill, so you're fine there, and wound status. Nobody in Alpha Team is wounded. So, you only move 2 hexes, so that means that you get to use the conceal bonus, which means you get to add 1 to your defense dice, which is already insane. It's a D10 versus my D6. Okay, so opportunity fire. I get 2d6 and I got 1d8. He's just got like a little weed chopper. He drew from the armory on his way out of Langley. Oh my God! They didn't tell me there was going to be shooting. Holy shit! Afghanistan. Who knew it was a war zone? All right, so I got 2d6 and I got 1d8. I'm gonna roll all that together. Actually, I have to keep that separate. What guy am I engaging? I am engaging Mr. PKM guy. Mr. Polensky, your time has come. Here we go. My highest was a 4. I am point blank, so I get a +1 for that. I'm opportunity fire versus pedestrians, -1, so a 4. We forget those rules in too many of these streams, so it stays as a 4. All right, cool. Now the D8 from the well-trained operative. He gets a 5. Alright, cool. So, Polensky's get to rolls 2d10. He doesn't add them together, but he gets to add 1 to both results. So first you have to try and beat the 4. Which probably is very hard.
That one ain't beaten because it's a 3.
So a 3. Okay, so you rolled the natural 3?
Natural 3, so +1 becomes the 4.
Natural 3, you get the +1 because you have the conceal bonus, becomes a 4. The 4 exactly ties my 4. A tie is a miss. So that one, like, literally shot your hat off. You have to go back and get your bushette. But you technically.
And Langley must be shaken because he goes up against an 11.
All right, yeah, he's like he Neos his way through that kind of fire. All right, so now they've taken opportunity fire, and now the assault will take place during the actual assault phase. Okay, these guys are no longer covered and concealed; they're just covered. They're concealed, although you're about to fire, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same hex now.
Yep.
So that's about to get nasty. How about these other two guys? What are they doing?
They covered and concealed.
Okay, that's actually technically true. You can't cover and conceal the chopper, but I can, I should say you can cover and conceal pedestrians. So they jumped out of the helicopter, they found some rocks, and they just got like down there and
Doc.
In the scrub. Right? They're gonna have a cross valley firefight with these guys. It looks like.
Yep. That's the plan.
Okay, any movement down here?
Yeah, let's see. That's where I need to think a bit more. Well, actually, you have shot. So.
Actually, before you get too into that, I think I screwed up. Operator, pedestrian move. Never mind. We're doing it right. We're good. I don't get a movement phase this first turn.
So let's see. The RPG guy.
Okay, there he is. Laraz.
Together with the guy with the underslung. I will.
Yep.
Yep. And we'll put. I'll butcher this. Zalev. Yep. With them as well.
Okay, now Zaliev has one less movement point because he's severely wounded.
Okay, he has one less movement as well, then we won't put him in with them.
Okay. Yeah,
and we'll need to zoom out a bit because they'll move to... How is the view from 12?
I apologize. I was getting a message. Start over again. What was that? About 12?
How's the lines of view from 012?
Oscar 12. Where the hell is Oscar 12? Okay.
On the top of the ridge in the...
Okay, so Oscar 12 would not be able to see Mike 11, if that's what you're asking.
Mike 11 and Lima 13.
Mike 11 and Lima 13. No, because there is high level elevation.
You're that's what I thought, but okay. I thought I would ask first.
No, they wouldn't be able to see you, and you wouldn't be able to see them because you're like looking over a table edge.
Then they'll just move to Papa 11.
Okay, Papa 11. There's still no line of sight, but.
Yeah,
okay.
but I like to sit on that one better than to sit on it.
Gotcha. All right, and that is again. Your RPG and Grenadier?
Yeah.
Okay, they're all set.
And the sniper will move up to Romeo 10.
He only moved one hex, so he gets to use the cover bonus. Come on. Covered. And these guys move two hexes, they get to use concealed. Okay, that leaves your 2 severely wounded guys with the crash burn. And
and they'll go to Quebec 11.
Okay, they have 1 less movement point, so they spent 1 movement point. They basically spent 2. So they're gonna stay. I'm sorry, they get the concealed bonus. The bird is just sitting there. Okay, I think that's it.
Let's try to defend the objective we've just taken.
Okay.
Since we can't attack from there.
Awesome. Okay, what's next? Alright, that's all movement. Operator pedestrian move, there's no interpreter checks. Medic checks. Alright.
I got 2 of those.
Yep. Now, we do have some bleed outs to watch out for, so let me... Come on. Alright, so severe wounded. -1 to attack dice in all cases, -1 interpreter check. Second severe is incapacitation. Okay, a 3+ medical check. So it's a pretty easy medical check. If you make the medical check, they no longer bleed out. So when we get to the end of the turn, we have a bleed out check. They could just die because they are busted open pretty bad. However, it's a 3+ to do a medical check on them. They can do, because they're still conscious, they can do medical checks on themselves with no problem. If you score a natural 6, they actually go back up to light wounded. But they get literally 1 check on that. So you get basically 2d6s, 1 for each figure. Do roll them separately because we want to see which ones. So roll for Halo first.
We'll start with the team leader.
Okay, Mashaka.
A3.
Okay, so that does get him stabilized. He is not going to get any better. You don't get those victory points back, but he does not have to make bleed out checks.
And a 3 on the...
Sweet, so we can skip the bleed out check phase for now. Nobody's going to pass out and die of blood loss. Although, I'm sorry, when you're severely wounded, if you fail a bleed out check, you just become incapacitated. Then you have to fail another bleed out check and then you die. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's it for medic checks. Sweet. We don't normally get to do those. Operator small arms, go. You get to shoot.
Yeah, so let's start with the sniper.
Alrighty. You have 2 snipers.
The top sniper.
Okay, cool. He has a clear line of sight. Now he is going to be shooting uphill a little bit, but that doesn't matter for the game. But he does have clear line of sight because they're right next to the elevation line.
They ran forward to shoot at the birds, so...
Yep.
And there's an RPG standing over there that I definitely don't like the look of.
Cool. Yep, so he gets a 1d12 plus 1. I get to roll my d6 twice because I do have the covered bonus. I get ×2 DD, so ×2 defense dice.
Yep.
Alright, so if that's your target, are you shooting at the RPG guy in Hex Sierra 5?
Shooting at the RPG guy in Hex 05, yeah.
Sweet, so d12 plus 1, I will roll 2 d6s.
A natural 3, so a 4.
Oh, I might actually beat that. Oop, turn on Mr. Camera. I get a 5. He did beat that. So, that sniper shot missed. Now, the RPG guy can also fire if he wants.
He definitely want to fire at that Hex.
Okay, so he's within 8 hexes, so he's within range. He rolls 1d10 only. However, it affects all targets on the hex. So if there's ever a time to roll a good d10, now's the time.
It'll be a 6.
Okay, so it's a 6. I have to beat a 6. I have to beat a 6 for all 4 guys. So first I'm going to roll for my 3 AK guys. My 3 AK Mujahadeen. A natural 6 was your roll. Okay, so I got to tie a 6. Fail. First AK guy is down. Second AK guy is down. Third AK guy he caught the rocket in the chest. There's a rocket in him, sir. RPG guy, come on, give me a 6. Do it. Hell no. That whole team's toast. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 victory points to Spetsnaz. Guys, yeah, militia died just that fast. Boom.
Oh, there goes what the sniper down there was thinking about, maybe taking a shot at.
Come on. Give me a break machine. Just for fun, because there's an RPG blast. Now, that was an explosion on the table. That's going to give you a negative modifier on the street events table. No, never mind, man. There's no villages around here. We're just here to destroy these rebels for failing to embrace the international socialist ideal. Don't you know Gorbachev is a good guy? I guess not. I'm going to put a splotch in your head just like the splotch in his head, except yours is still waiting. Alright, so that takes care of those two guys. Now, I'm assuming you want to... I'm sorry, go ahead. Answer your question.
The sniper down in the bottom, how far is he from G9?
From G9? Oh, yes, he can see G9, because G9's on that little promontory. Question, let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're in range.
So we might as well...
unless otherwise specified on the counter, again, this is for mostly people in the chat. I know you know this, Rasmus. The range, unless otherwise specified on the counter, is equal to the attack dice. So D12 plus 1, he has a range of 13. So go ahead. Who's he shooting at?
There's an RPG guy over there that looks awfully scary.
Yep. Now, he is covered and concealed. You barely saw him on the chopper flying in. So... I get to roll my defense dice twice and add 1 to both results. It's going to be a tough shot.
Yeah, especially if you roll a natural 2.
Oh god, natural 2 becomes a 3.
I don't like my D12.
Yeah, so far your snipers aren't doing so hot. Okay, he's probably going to survive that, but maybe not. I have a 3, which becomes a 4. Yeah, that sniper shot missed.
But the only shot you know will always miss is the one you never take. So.
Yeah, and you know the old gaming logic of which I normally don't agree with is if you have a shot, take it. There's way too many good games out there where that reveals your position, that makes noise, that causes all kinds of problems. However, I don't think this particular scenario is one of those games. This might be the exception that proves the rule. This might be the game that says, if you have the shot, take it. Also, in most good games, if you fire, you can't move. And in most good games, movement is more important than shooting. But again, in this game, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So normally, I don't agree with that, but I think in this game, it holds water.
In this scenario, you don't want to go in firing away with the rocket launchers in a normal scenario.
No, in a normal scenario, you'd be in a city street.
Exactly.
You just start slinging out RPGs, you're going to be taking out school buses and ice cream trucks. And...
Talking about slinging out RPGs. There's an RPG guy down there as well.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Where are we at here? Now, he doesn't have much line of sight, but... It depends on
I think I managed to block myself with the N11 for the...
yeah, M11... you cannot see M11. I don't... What's the range on that guy? 6?
Yeah, never mind.
He has a range of 8. He might be in range... he can see the guy over there in G9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 1 hex out of range of G9.
I should have gone for 012. Oh well. But then I wouldn't have a concealment when you start to move up and try to dislodge me or something. So I'm quite happy.
Counterfire, but I'm not in range. So yeah, you're right. G9 can see you. We just can't reach him.
Yep.
And again, G9 has not taken opportunity fire. Okay.
So
what else is in G9?
the guy with the underslung.
Now he can fire his regular assault rifle if he wants. He gets a 2d10. I know that's not written on the counter, but again, it's underslung.
Yep.
The grenade launcher only has a range of 5. The assault rifle it's attached to has the normal operator assault rifle stat, which is 2d10.
Well, we might as well take the shot.
Okay. Is he engaging the RPG guy again in Golf 9?
RPG guy again, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so D10, 2 D10s actually.
A 2 and an 8.
Alright, so pretty sure the 8 is the number to beat. Yeah, 8's the number to beat, and I cannot beat it, even if I roll 6s, because I add 1 to my dice roll. The best I can possibly get is a 7. So RPG guy is kiloed. Tango down.
As we like your Mujahedeen's dead.
Now he gets on the radio. He calls over to Kirakov. He's like, Kirakov, did you see that? Are you taking notes?
That's how you do it.
That's how you actually there now. Okay, I hope you're paying attention. We can discuss when we get back to base. Kirakov's like, fuck you, man. I got sand in my weapon. It's not my fault. Okay. I don't know if there's other operator fire or not.
I think that's the other.
Oh, I don't want to, because if you don't take opportunity, to be perfectly fair, it's gonna add 1 to your difficulty because you're scraping past 2 hexes, but you technically have line of sight between Q11 and M11.
Ooh.
Technically.
Oh, might it?
You're scraping past this obstructing terrain, you're scraping past that obstructive terrain, that obstructive terrain, yeah, well, that's not obstructive terrain, P10. N10 is, because he's right behind it. He's right behind those trees. But again, you technically have it. It's just not going to be easy. He's covered, so he gets to roll everything twice, and you have to subtract 1 from your rolls.
Well, we might as well open up with the machine gun.
Subtract 2 from your rolls. These guys are all wounded.
Oh, yep.
But it is... Yeah, okay, so swing around so they can engage. Okay, so the machine gun is going to roll 4d6. It's normally 4d8, but he's severely wounded.
Oh, 46.
Yeah. Now, you can engage as many guys as you want. You just tell me how many dice you're putting on each guy. There are 2 PKM gunners in there and 2 AK.
Just putting everything into one of the gunners.
Okay, so 4d6, roll as high as you can.
2 natural 4s.
Okay.
That's the high.
Okay, so I have to beat a 4, or tie a 4. I get to roll 2d6.
Well, yeah, and then minus 2, so that'll be beat a 2.
I apologize. Oh, wait. It's subtract 1 because you have scraping terrain.
It's subtract 1, so a 3, and then you got 2 dice for being...
I misspoke before when I was saying to subtract 1 also for being wounded. What you do is you reduce your dice class. So you're supposed to roll 4d8s normally. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger. Sorry. 4d8s, when you become severely wounded, that reduces to 46. So it's just a 46 subtract 1, not 48 subtract 2. So 46 subtract 1 is 2 modified 3s.
The roll 4 becomes a 3.
Alright, I'm probably going to survive this, but you never know. Yep, with a 5 I survive it. Alright. And then we have team leader in there, Mishaga, with 2d10. That gets knocked down to 2d8s.
We might as well take that shot as well.
Alright, on the same machine gunner?
Same guy, yeah.
Okay.
That's a bit better, a 8 and a 1.
And 8 becomes a 7. I can't beat it. Because he's not covered and concealed, he's only covered. So your best natural roll was an 8, right?
Yep.
Okay, minus 1 for scraping terrain becomes a modified 7. I only get to double defense dice. I roll d6s. Even if I roll double sixes, I still cannot tie a 7. He's out of there. That's what I get for shooting at the helicopter. If I was still covered and concealed, I'd have a chance. Okay.
And then I think there's only the assault left.
Okay. Now, technically, operator small arms takes place first. So you can shoot if you want. You can shoot at the Muj leader and knock him out of the box. I'm assuming you don't want to eliminate the CIA guy. You get more points if you capture him.
We want to capture him, yeah.
Right. However, if you leave the Muj guy alive, then that's just more dice I get to roll in the melee phase. It's basically a big punch-up in the hex. So my advice would be to shoot at the Muj guy, put him down, and then
we'll do that.
Dogpile on the CIA guy. Okay.
We'll do that.
Cool. So who wants to shoot at Mr.
We'll start with the 48.
48, you're at point blank range, so you get a +1. There is no opportunity fire, so no -1. You get to add 1 to 40. You have to roll 48s and add 1 to all the results. You basically just jump right in the hole next to him and just riddled him with PKM fire.
Yes, and there's a 7 in there, so.
Alright, I think that pretty much does it, because I get to double d6s, but that won't help. Alright, cool. He's down. What am I doing? That's wrong. Good grief. Pay attention, you fool.
Cut the head of the snake.
Alright. Osama bin Laden is down, except unfortunately not. Okay, and I think that will wrap up
small arms.
Small arms fire. Our small arms fire. Most of it's already taken because we took a shit ton of opportunity fire. The only one left are these two teams. They're just not in range of anything. Yep, so that's gonna be it for my opportunity fire, or for my small arms fire. We now go to something that almost never happens in this game, close combat. Nice. Alright,
yep.
It's not going to be much of a close combat, because it's only like one little Langley Poindexter there versus 3 Spetsnaz commandos. So I don't like his chances. But it is 4 operators. He's not militia, he's an operator. So,
got a fold-out knife.
Yeah. And he's been to many Langley and Quantico self-defense courses. So, long story short, militia QB, operator QB, CQB, D10 plus 1. Everybody in there's an operator. All 4 of us. So, it's going to be a fight for the ages. I'm probably going to lose because I'm outnumbered 3-1. But we basically all get to roll a D10 plus 1. And whoever gets the highest roll is... Hold on. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Because these happen so infrequently.
Yep.
Close combat. Only if they're in the same hex combat, militia player chooses first if... Well, there are no militia checks. If both sides choose no. If either player shows... Okay, there's going to be close combat. Whichever side chooses to... Whichever side chose that gets to attack how many figures? Well, there's only 3-1. Let's fight alone. Okay, it wasn't as complicated as I thought. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to double check.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to roll my 1d10 plus 1. You roll your 3d10s plus 1. Actually, yeah, who's going to attack him first?
Let's see, we'll go with the team lead, Zelensky, and then the guy with the underslung.
Alright, so Tarenko goes in first. Roll his d10, I'll roll my d10.
5.
A 10. That is going to be a hit on Tarenko. He's actually, unless you roll a 10 as well. Actually, no, you can't beat him because I just rolled 10. After all that talk about how he's probably going to get put down. All right, roll a d6 on the wound table.
A2.
2, no game effect. He's lightly wounded, but lightly wounds have no game effect, including victory points. But technically, he is lightly wounded. Okay, now the other two guys, they attack and okay, I can't roll against you because I've already rolled my attack dice. At the same time, you can't beat a 10 with a 10. So I think this fist fight's going to go on into next turn.
Yep.
All right. Nobody's concealed anymore. Nobody's covered anymore because we're in a big fist fight.
And nobody cares about the opportunity fire anymore.
Yeah, that's now passed. I think that just about closes the turn. Nobody needs bleed out checks because both casualties have been stabilized. You don't have to worry about stabilizing a light wound. That's basically a Hollywood scar. And victory check. Alright, so technically I'm still winning because I still have 4 objective hexes, but you've taken 1. And other than victory hexes, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to my 10. So you're definitely gaining. Alright, with that we will now go to turn 2. Oops. Okay, we're now beginning turn 2, so get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that.
I think that was just the markers you had down in the bottom line.
I was distracted by something else. Okay, never mind. I thought there was a rule here that says if there's an ongoing melee phase, you keep it going until everybody's taking, until it's figured out one way or the other. I'm thinking of no? Doesn't matter. Sorry, I was thinking of a different game.
Yeah.
I've written too many games. Okay, so that now, we're ready to start turn 2. So again, none of this street event stuff. Hostile vehicle move is the first thing that happens. I do have 2 vehicles. Although, driving around in this kind of terrain is not that easy. There are obviously practically no roads. There are these little trails down here, but...
Yeah.
So I'm paying the 5, and it's double. So it's going to reduce to 3 on this rocky road. So they basically move as fast as a walking man, is the straight answer. That's not so great.
Which way did you move the technical?
1, 2,
3. Our friend with the grenade or with the RPG down in the... Does he have opportunity fire at G7?
RPG guy. This guy here, it has a range of 8. Hold on. It's possible if I move too close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As he moves into H8, yes.
And there's a line there, yeah.
Oh yeah,
so.
The line of sight's not because you're up on the highest level there is. There are 2 patches of level 5 ground. You're up on the top of the mountain. That's why. That's why.
I was just wondering whether an 11 would have blocked me, but it doesn't.
Oh, that's actually a good question. That is a good question. No, it does not. Barely. Yeah, that's why
Oh.
Romeo 11 is an objective X. It's literally the highest point on the board.
Yeah.
N11 comes close, but doesn't quite do it. You clearly shoot over the trees in November, Oscar, and Papa 11, and then after that, the slope is fine.
So
So
let's see.
to hit a vehicle,
turn sequences for small arms. I go first, or you go first?
You go first, but right now you're taking opportunity fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, opportunity fire.
Well, that makes sense to hold my fire and just do the normal fire when
I see what you're saying.
When it rolls around.
Either way, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Yeah, the game does have a innate advantage built in for operators, in that they move second and shoot first. That is deliberately unfair.
Yeah.
Because again, operators versus half-ass mountain boys.
We'll take a shot now.
Okay, cool. So it's either way, it's going to be kind of the same. Opportunity fire, you technically get a -1. So there is in most cases a difference between taking opportunity fire and just waiting your turn normally. However, that -1 does not apply when you're shooting against vehicles, because vehicles are huge compared to people. So
yeah.
All right. So the long story short is the RPG guy who is in range. Where is he? There he is. Laros. So Laros, you roll a single D8. No, a single D10. Sorry. You just have to roll a 5 up to hit a vehicle. To hit
a 6.
Okay, so that's a hit. Okay, cool. We get a vehicle hit check.
An RPG comes screaming across the valley.
Alright, so explosives gets 3d10 per explosive hit. That was an explosive hit, so you get to roll 3d10 on the vehicle damage table. And those 3d10s are what is going to happen here.
2, 4, and 5.
2, 4, and 5. You blew off the headlight and the fender, and that was about it. So you hit well enough, it just didn't really do any damage.
I'd tell you what, the crew need their brown pants.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. They just got hit by an RPG in an unarmored truck and survived. That's some Black Hawk Down shit there. Well, your real heavy, your little weapons are doing great. Your heavy weapons are doing, like your sniper rifles and your RPGs. Actually, I take that back. That one RPG nuked this whole squad over here.
Yeah. It's the guys down there that.
Well, it's Bravo team. It's Mujahadeen.
I think they might still be rattled a bit from.
They're still a little dizzy from the helicopter crash, right?
Yeah.
One guy's pulling a piece of tail rotor out of his skull. I can't see well, with this tail rotor hanging in my head. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. Any other movement? He's locked up in melee. He can't move. I'm making sure I don't miss anybody. Most of my guys are over this way. Oh, my mega hex down there. Lima 13. These guys just have to haul ass, man. Oh, I didn't know if you were going to come in the southwest corner or the northwest corner, so I had to kind of... 1, 2,
cover
3.
all the bases.
He's just hauling ass. No bonuses, he's just moving. Now, these guys.
That was why I was forced to take the northern approach.
I'm going to get the living hell shot out of me. Now, the RPG guy has already fired. So, I don't have to worry about area effect weapons.
This turn, at least. What about the underslung?
Oh, yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that.
Just to be fair.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Okay, now I did move up 1 elevation level, so I technically spent 2 movement points there. I do not get the cover bonus. I want to get concealed. Because you're vulnerable while climbing up a cliff. Just ask, what's his name? Wesley or Dread Pirate Roberts? If you're not going to just stand there, you could lower a rope or find something useful to do. I could do that. I have a sumo rope up here. That's just for Jen. Alright, I believe that's it for my movement. Okay, cool. Yep, that will be it for my movement. Okay, so over to your vehicle movement. You technically still have a vehicle on the table.
Yeah,
you may want to get him out of the way.
He'll fly up in the top eastern corner. Just in case I need to call him in again.
Yeah, he's not allowed to leave the table or he's considered destroyed, but yeah, you can definitely like hide or whatever, you know, or just stay out of range.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so that's it for vehicle movement. I'm assuming you were level 5, so you don't get you don't have to make any checks.
Yep. No need to roll any extra dice.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I want to do something else with him, so never mind. He had a split second of possible opportunity. Actually, Q4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Q4, or I should say 04. I had 1 split second. I had 1 hex, so that Dushka could have taken opportunity fire. But again,
yep.
It's fine. He'd be a flying helicopter. I'd have to roll 6 or more on a D8. Never mind.
That would take away your. Please do it. It'll take away the technical.
Yeah. I want to at least restrict some of your movement because the way you landed, actually, you landed pretty well. It crashed, so it didn't go perfectly. But you've taken 1 objective hex. You're about to take a set. Well, you have to. You can't jump off a cliff. But you're very close to R9, and you pretty much sealed off X-Ray 7. So you've almost taken 2/3 of the board already. So I'm trying to slow down your movement at least a little with some Overwatch fire.
Let's see, those two guys in N4.
Yep. Yeah, so long story short, we're done with vehicle movement. We now go to pedestrian movement. All right, November 4th.
Yep.
Technically, they were covered because they fired out of that hex, but no worries. What are they doing now? Let me zoom down so you can see what's going on.
They'll actually sit pretty.
There's like literally nobody down here. Holy shit, look at this. You wiped them out. There's 1 guy down here. Where the hell are all my guys?
They are in
they're all too far to the southwest.
Southwestern corner.
Holy crap. Okay. Alright, so
they'll sit pretty for now.
If they're going to sit still, then they are covered and concealed. Cool. Alright, these guys are locked up in combat, so they're not well, 2 of them can move if they want.
No.
Okay. Then that takes care of everyone on Alpha Team. And down here to Bravo Team. That's classic Afghanistan, man. Pinned down on a mountaintop with Muj climbing up the slopes next to a burning helicopter. Come on now.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more Afghanistan than that.
We'll take the two wounded. They'll move forward into.
These guys totally have line of sight on each other now, because they're all on level 5.
Yep.
All right.
So might as well just sit where I am and take the gunfight from where I am.
Okay. There is a certain logic to that because by not moving, you get the cover and conceal bonus.
Yep.
So they just basically flatten out in the rocks and say, hold what you got. This mountaintop is our Stalingrad. Alrighty. Okay, if that's it for movement, we then go.
And it also means that I don't take any opportunity fire.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. There's a Dushka up there, and there's a Dushka over here that can kind of see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does cut down on opportunity fire. In fact, it eliminates opportunity fire. All right, cool. So we're ready to go with. Just making sure. Pedestrian move we did. Operator vehicle move. Pedestrian move. Pedestriant? What the hell is that? No interpreter checks. No medic checks because you've already stabilized your 2 wounds. You can't try to magically heal a severe wound twice.
Heal a wound.
Yeah, operator small arms. You get that one first check. If you roll a natural 6, it literally comes up 1 level. Your medic gets to him, and it turns out to be a lot worse, a lot easier than it was. It's a lot of blood to clean the wound. You put a little bit of morphine in there, and you're fine. But you only get
chew on this, and you'll be well.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, operator small arms.
Yes, we'll start with the top RPG.
Okay, top RPG. I got him. Who's he shooting at?
H8.
I don't think he can see H8.
Okay.
Yeah, because I8 blocks him.
I8 blocks him. Then we'll fire at I10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Barely in range, but you do have him. Okay, so roll a single. I think it's a D10 for operators. Let me zoom in.
I think it's a D10 on those
D10
guys. Yeah.
And 8 is the range, and star means it affects everything in the hex. Cool. So he kind of goes over this way. Has that rocket up on his shoulder.
And you need to beat a 5.
I need to beat a 5. I have 2d6. I am concealed. I get to add. I only get 1 dice, but I get to add 1. They're all AK guys, so I'm just going to roll 3 dice. Killed, survived.
And on the survivor, we'll take a sniper shot from the same location.
Right. I just don't want to. I don't want to just delete these guys because they are for scoring purposes.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So sniper D12 plus 1. Let's see if your snipers finally get it together. D12 plus 1. Easy range.
Yeah, and I don't think you'll save this one.
Oh, what?
A 9 plus 1.
9 plus 1 becomes a 10. I can only roll a 7. He's toast. Yeah, this is why the victory conditions are so wildly favoring the Mujahadeen, because this is how fast they get just mown down.
Especially if I didn't have 3 guys in a close combat fight.
Oh god, yeah. Alright, so he is now technically covered, because we all saw that. Okay, we'll come back to the close combat guy. Or actually, no, because you don't want to shoot at him. Cool. Down here.
Since everybody can see everybody.
Yeah, everybody's on level 5. Well, except for these guys down here in the valley, but
yeah.
Lima 2 and M13. That's the hex number, not the gang. Don't strike me on Twitch. God damn it.
And let's see, what do we have? We have 1 guy with an RPG.
You have 1 guy with an RPG? Yes, but he fired.
No, on your side.
Oh, on my side, I have an RPG here. This truck is pointing the wrong way. Any PKMs? Nope. Yeah, I have 1 RPG guy.
So we'll take the sniper shot at the RPG. Because that's what snipers do.
For God's sake, do something. Okay, D12 plus 1 versus my D6 plus 1. Who's walking away from this?
So, can you beat a 4?
I can. I only need to roll 3 up. Come on, do it! Hell yeah! Kripikov, you're buying everybody beer when we get back to base.
I think he got a concussion when he landed.
Dolph Lundgren, you are not. You ever see Red Scorpion? One of the dumbest movies ever.
And
I am still Spetsnaz. Okay, Dolph.
well, do 2d8 from the team lead on him as well.
Okay, gotcha, because he's severely wounded. His DT is 2d10, reduces to a 2d8 on the same guy. Cool, so 2d10. Is that really good or really bad?
1, 2.
I literally can't fail that, even if I roll ones. If I roll a 1, it becomes a 2, and a tie is a miss.
Yep.
Yay! Bravo team. I don't know what's going on, man. What's going on over there?
Well, 46 into him.
Cool.
Now I'm getting serious.
What would you wind up with?
A 6.
Okay, so there's a 6. I can beat that with a 4, 5, or 6. No, a 6. Sorry, you rolled a natural 6. So I have to get.
6, yeah.
I have to get a 5 or a 6. Because I got a +1. Come on, do it, please. Hell yeah. My RPG gunner is saying, nope, not today. That is the Mujahadeen Neo. He's dodging all the bullets.
Well, the underslung will fire at the technical.
Okay, he's firing at the vehicle. Okay, he rolls a D10. 1, 2, 3. He's barely in range. Well, not barely in range, but he is in range. He rolls a D10 and needs to roll at least a 5.
A 9.
Cool, that's a hit. That is going to be 3d10 again on the vehicle weapon explosion. I'm sorry, on the vehicle damage table.
3, 4, and a 7.
7. Vehicle disabled. Stop in hex. Passengers are okay. Okay, the Dushka is out of the battle. The 2 guys in the truck are fine, but the truck is totaled.
Well, that was all that group's firepower managed to do this time.
That is technically true. Yep, because the RPG guy has already fired.
And he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he just missed. Fortunately, that douche. Now, when a vehicle becomes disabled, it says specifically that because I didn't want there to be rules for like salvaging the Dushka off the back of a wrecked technical or anything. Yeah. So once the truck is toast, the gun is also toast. However, I think you said you roll a 7.
Yep.
Yeah, it does specify that stop and hex passengers are okay. So the 2 guys bail out of the burning truck. Now I just got 2 more AKs in there instead of a Dushka. Alrighty. I tell you what though, the Dushka will count as a victory hex, so I should have put that in or a victory point. I should have put that in the. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I should have put that in the victory conditions. Come on, scroll over.
At least he did something. Somebody on that team did something.
It's 3d8 that aren't coming at you this turn.
Yep.
Alright, and, alright, cool. So that will wrap it up for GRS gunfire, or operator gunfire. I still call it GRS. How long ago was 13 days, the 13 hours?
Oh, quite a while.
Because I'm a moron. Okay, Dushka's crew is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do technically have line of sight. Your guy did not move, or he has fired now, so he no longer gets concealed bonus, but he's still covered, which means all of his defense dice are doubled. So whenever I say roll a d10, roll 2 d10s. I will now roll my 3d8 and see what I can do.
Which one are you shooting at?
I am going to shoot at see, there's a grenadier in there.
Grenadier and an RPG.
Yeah, our RPG guy. Definitely the RPG guy. We saw that plane. Also, didn't the RPG guy shoot at us? Hell yeah, we're taking.
Yeah, he took opportunity fire.
Against my with the technical. The technical says, "Oh hell no, you didn't." Okay, I got an 8. Now you get a D10.
So 2d10.
You get 2d10. You have to get at least an 8.
And we'll take another one. Nope.
Okay, so he is hit. Roll a D6.
A 6.
Okay, roll a D6 on the wound table.
Yeah, he didn't roll on the wound. He rolled a 6 on the D10.
Yeah, he rolled a 6 on the D10. Okay, he rolled a 6 on the D10, so we know he's hit. And now we're going to roll a D6 on the wound table.
A 4.
A 4. He is severely wounded.
He is Bravo team after all.
Alrighty, now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total D6. They're just gonna hose down everybody they can. I am going to do my best to. Actually, I'm gonna roll these. Okay, get ready to roll a D10 and add 1. Sorry. I apologize. I don't think we did that with that wound table correctly. So when he took that hit from the Dushka, did you roll 1 or 2 D6s? I'm sorry, 1 or 2 D10s?
2 D10s.
Oh, you did roll 2 D10s. Okay, we did it right. And neither of them beat an 8?
No, a 3 and a 6, or
okay, cool.
Something lower than a 6 and a 6.
Cool. Cool. Oh, we did it correctly then. You're paying more attention than I am. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to roll each AK guy in turn is the way I really should do this. Okay, so AK guy number 1, again, just roll 2 D10s versus my 2 D6s.
Yes.
I'm still going for the RPG guy. I'm trying to get a kill. Try to beat a 3.
A 9 will do it.
Yep. Okay, that's first AK guy. Second AK guy. Again, try to beat a 3.
An 8 will do it.
Third AK guy. Oh god.
A 5.
Fourth AK guy.
And 9.
1, 2, 3, 4. That takes care of the 1 hex. I got 1 more AK guy, and then there's an RPG guy. 1 more AK guy. Come on. A 5.
A 8.
Alright, you dodged all that AK fire, because you are... Again, part of what's screwing me up is... You've got the wrong counter in there. Alright, cool. Now...
And the double dice is really handy in this case.
Yeah, you're covered. That's what you get for that. That's the benefit for not moving. That was a pretty smart move. Okay, now there's a D8. A very important D8. That is Mr. RPG guy. I'm going to put it here into Papa 11. This would be a really good time to get a good roll. Do it for Allah! A 3. Allah does not love me today. Okay, each one of those guys, both of them in that hex, have to roll 2 D10s.
RPG guy, a 3.
Okay, he's okay because the tie is a miss.
And a 4.
Alright, that was for the other guy. Sweet. That was for the Grenadier, so both the Grenadier and the RPG guy are okay. Sweet. All that fire and I got squat. That's okay. He has no line of fire. This guy
that feels a bit like when the Bravo team was shooting.
This guy... Well, it's tough terrain up there. I'm pumping the mic way too much. Sorry about that, guys. These guys are too far away. And plus they have no line of sight anyway. That's going to wrap up my fire phase, which means we now go into melee phase. Okay, so... Tarenko again versus CIA guy.
We'll do the guy with the underslung first, just to try to spread the wounds around.
Darovsky. Oh, that's right, he's wounded. Darovsky, here we go. We both get a D10. Uh-oh, I don't think he's getting lucky this time.
Well, you beat the first guy.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
That's going to be a wound check. So a D6 on the wound check.
And I dropped the die, so we'll roll another one. A 6.
Killed him. Stabbed him right in the throat. Killed him instantly. That's 6 points. That was awesome. All right, now the other 2 guys get to roll. Even if they fail, They don't die because I don't get to roll again them, but all you have to do is beat a 3 to kill the CA guy.
A 6 and a 6.
Alright, so that's definitely got him. Technically, he's an operator, which means he rolls on the stupid moon check twice, but it doesn't matter, you've won the melee. Yeah, so you win there. You would have killed him twice, but you've declared that you're not trying to kill him. So he is now captured. That's going to be, I think, 5 or 6 points back to you.
Yeah, I think that is a wash on points.
He did better than I thought. He survived the first round, which really surprised me. Then he just outright killed somebody, which is surprising. So he's captured. Everyone, when I'm adding up victory points at the end of the game, remind me that he's captured.
Yes.
Not killed, because Rasmus gets different victory points for that. Okay, now we have. Oh, we skipped past medic checks. We have 2 medic checks. Well, technically 1 medic check. It really matters. You have to roll a d6. A 3 up.
3 or higher.
3 stabilizes him. If you get a 6, he heals.
A 2.
He is not stabilized, which means he could technically bleed out this turn. Okay, we've done close combat. Speaking of bleed out checks, roll a bleed out check. Bleed out checks are because he's not stabilized.
Yes.
Severe. Bleed out check. At the end, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, it gets 1 level worse. Alright, so roll a d6. Try not to roll a 5 or a 6.
3.
Alright, it did not get worse. But it's still not stabilized. Alright. That concludes the bleed out check turn. I don't even know what the score is now for victory check. It's up there somewhere. Where's the stupid table here? You get 5 points if you eliminate him via assault. Alright. So yeah, it's still I think I'm still winning, but the
And you got 6 points for killing the guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind, I'm definitely winning now. And 2 more points for this severe wound. Then again, you are racking up the kills on my poor Mujahadeen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And you've got 1 victory hex so far. So, cool. All right, that concludes, I should say, turn 2. Big time, turn 3. Alrighty, we start with hostile vehicle movement phase. I've got somebody in range, so I'm not going to move my 1 remaining technical. We go to, and my other technical is burning. So now we go to, whatchamacallit, movement phase, pedestrian movement phase.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. That was my entire movement phase because I'm climbing up nearly a sheer cliff because I had to cross 2 elevation lines. That cost me 2 movement points, 1 for the actual hex. So he only moves 1 hex and gets no bonuses. These guys, however, are not going to move at all, so they're going to go to cover and conceal. And these fools. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Come on. One, 2, 3. Spread out just a little because there is an RPG down there somewhere, and I'm moving down the hill, so there's no no terrain bonuses. And that's it for my movement. Any opportunity fire?
No.
Okay. We then go to your vehicle movement. I don't.
Yeah, it'll hang around up there in the corner.
Okay. We go to your pedestrian movement.
Bravo team is sitting where they are.
Okay. Well, anything going on with Alpha Team?
The heavy weapon part, the sniper and the will move down 1 hex.
Okay, they kind of expose themselves to opportunity fire if they do that. Because these two guys in I-10, I-7 and I-8 can now see you.
Might as well stay where we are then. It's not important to get those guys moving yet, but the guys in N6 will hug the wall and go to P7.
So they're going to move away from... Cool. Oh yeah, good. We're going for objective access. All right, cool.
Yep.
Line of fire, but no range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barely out of range. Technically, when you're in 07, you're within range, but no line of sight because N7 blocks. If you go from the center of the hex to the center of the hex, like I'm supposed to.
Yep.
I-8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, same problem. I had you in range in 07, I just didn't have line of sight. And then by the time even in P7, he doesn't have line of sight anyway. So, never mind. So
I'd rather try
it's a little complicated.
To steal that objective.
Yeah, P7 can see I7, he can't see I8.
Yep.
Because he's right on this weird angle of this this intervening.
And that becomes important in the fire phase.
N4 can see these two guys clearly, and vice versa. Nobody can see H8 until you get to Bravo Team. Bravo Team can see H8 because they're higher. Alright, cool. So, any other pedestrian movement? I guess that's it, right?
Yep. Bravo Team will stay where they are.
Cool.
They're locked down on that mountain top.
Just so I can keep track, they move 2 hexes, they are concealed. Not that it really matters, because very few people can see them anyway. Well, only one team can see them, but I can't reach them anyway, but just in case. Okay, I've done my movement already. You've done your movement. I didn't really have opportunity fire. You chose not to take opportunity fire. Let's go to your fire phase.
Yep. So, let's start with the 2 guys in P7.
Ooh, I apologize. We got some more people in chat, just so I don't miss them. Hello, John Sowerby, and hello, Vorpalbite. How you doing? Is this tabletop simulator? This is the mighty Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel, OBS, and Skype.
As per usual.
We do things, I don't want to say low tech, but we definitely have our own tailored solutions. Okay, I apologize, Rasmus. You were going for your fire phase.
Yeah, Papa 7. So that's Alpha Team.
Oh, I'm in the wrong group. Just for the people who are just joining us, we are doing Spetsnaz in Afghanistan 1985, in case it didn't come across in the social media message. Which it's totally supposed to.
Or in case you just wanted in at random.
Okay, yeah, so Papa 7, I'm not sure... Oh, they can hit I7, but that's about it.
Yep,
okay.
That's the whole idea.
Okay, 8 hexes in range, 10 hexes in range. Oh, yeah, I guess some pretty decent weapons here. Tarenko is team leader. Polensky.
We'll start with Polensky firing 2 shots at each. 2 dice at each.
Okay, so 2d8 versus my 2d6. No, my 1d6. Because they hauled ass down that mountain. Alrighty, I will now go
for the top guy.
Yep.
A 2 and a 7.
Alright, he's knocked down because the best I can roll is a 4. Second guy.
A 4 and a 7.
A 7? Yeah, I can't beat that because I get no terrain bonuses.
So the team leader gets to hold his fire.
PKM just says, do it! It weighs 32 pounds, but right now it's worth every ounce. PKM is no joke, man. That thing's a beast.
From N4 to the Lima 12. How far is that?
Lima 12. Oh yeah, there's line of sight. Holy dog shit. Look at this. Long range sniper shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think some guy. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, both your guys can reach that.
No.
Oh, there's an RPG in there. Oh no.
The RPG is only 8, not 9.
Oh, that's true. That's the /8. Let me double check that range. I zoomed out too far. I'm giving everybody epilepsy, I know. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's just out of range.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
He'll take a shot at I-8 instead.
Cool. So RPG guy is going to take this shot here, and long-range sniper with the Druganov is going to take that shot there.
Yes.
Sweet. All right, which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the top guy first.
Okay, so RPG hisses up the slope. A D10 affects everything in the hex.
A 7.
I literally can't beat that or tie it because I have no terrain bonuses. That's like, I think 4, so that's 6 guys that RPG guy has taken out so far.
Yep.
He's a surgeon with that thing. Now, Mr. Sniper, I think it's just a bunch of AK guys in there. Let me double check that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and you're lower than I am, so you cannot target the M13, but you can target L11. Yeah, it's just
yep.
It's just 4 AK guys in there.
So we'll shoot at the guy that was driving the truck just to shoot at somebody.
All right. He like bails out of the truck and a 7.62 comm block kind of hits him right in the side of the head, maybe. And now he does have cover and conceal bonus. So I get to roll my D6 twice and add 1 to both results. Which is
yep.
D12 plus 1.
I rolled a 2, so you need to beat a 3.
All right, I have a tie of 3, which means I literally have to roll snake eyes here. Nope, he's fine.
My sniper curse strikes again.
Yeah, your RPGs are awesome, but your snipers just can't hit the broadside of a barn today. Everything else is doing pretty well. That machine gun did good. Took out 2 guys.
Yep. So let's see, the other sniper.
Yeah, redeem the snipers, please. All right, Kirikov, seriously, bro. You got to do something, my man. Gorbachev is watching. He's embarrassed of you. All right, who's he shooting at?
That's an RPG.
Yeah, he
that
can't
needs
see
to be
the RPG
stopped.
guy. Cool. All right, so D12 plus 1 versus my 2D6 plus 1?
A 4. I rolled a 3, so 4.
My 4 becomes a 5. He beats that. Because my guys are covered and concealed.
Well, same procedure as last time. I will do the team leader on him, 2d8s.
Okay. Yeah, because the team, again, for people in the chat, the team leader is wounded, so his attack dice went down 1. So he is now rolling 2d8s instead of 2d10s. Again, I am covered and concealed, 2d6s, add 1 to my results.
I have 5. 1 and a 5.
6 becomes 7. Yes.
Okay, well. See, they're covered and concealed.
So now we're looking at your machine gunner?
Yeah.
Your wounded machine gunner. Is he still trying to take out the RPG guy?
That's what I'm debating right now,
okay.
Or if I want to. Yeah, we'll try to take him out.
Everyone has the same difficulty, it's just that guy can take out a whole hex at once.
Yeah. 46.
Okay.
A 5.
I'm actually kind of rooting for you at this point. Oh my god, sorry. 6 and a 7.
Bravo team.
Bravo
There's
teams.
nothing to say bravo about.
Bravo, yeah. They're definitely the B team. How about we stop calling them Bravo, we start calling them the B team?
The range on the RPG, did that change when he went down to die?
No.
He'll take a shot at the technical.
Okay. He has to roll a... he rolls a D8 now instead of a D10, and he still has to get a 5+.
A8.
Boom, that's a hit. So roll 3 D10s on the vehicle damage table.
This time I don't think he'll survive.
Uh-oh.
Well, 1, 7, and 9.
Vehicle disabled, stop and hex, vehicles okay, and a 9. Vehicle disabled, stop and hex, passengers roll basically a 4, 5, or 6. There are 2 passengers in there. 4, 5, or 6, overall 1 for each. Driver gets a 4. He is a light wound, which means he took a hit, which means he's off the table. Militia leave as soon as they take a hit. Now for the gunner. The gunner's okay. But the vehicle's toast. Come on, zoom out just a little. Where the hell is this?
It was shoot at that one or shoot at your RPG guy.
Toast, vehicle's toast, and the guy is technically okay. Alright, so let me keep score here super fast. Technical does count as... Come on, get over there. RPG into the Afghan technical, he is taken out. Alright, cool. We've got one guy left, I think.
Yeah.
Assault rifle guy or grenadier, whoever you want to shoot at.
We'll use the underslung on the hex with the 4 guys.
Okay, roll a D10 as best as you possibly can.
I won.
Oh, never mind. Dude, Bravo team is hurting for certain, man. They need new dice. Okay, heading over to Mujahadeen turn for fire phase. I get to roll a 1d8 versus... Now, the good news is your guys are going to be probably even more invulnerable than my guys are. Because you're also covered and concealed. So here we go with...
I didn't go down a level for shooting.
Oh, technically, yeah. So no longer concealed, you're just covered. But still double defense.
Oh, no, because I don't know. Or is it the same phase?
Yeah, but technically, operator fire takes place first. So anybody that you kill does not get to shoot back at you, so it's not simultaneous fire phase. Oh, the RPG rolls a 2. So as long as you don't roll a 1, you basically have to roll snake eyes on D10s.
First one is a 4 and a 9. Second one is a 1 and a 7.
It's literally 1 in 100. Okay, because that was a terrible RPG shot. That was my best chance. Okay, now, get ready with D10s. I'm aiming at the guy who is severely wounded. I'm aiming at Laroth. Okay, so we're going to have to do this 5 times. So first AK guy, my 2d6 versus your 2d10s. Oh god. Just don't roll. Again, snake eyes on d10s.
I am 4 and a 9, so that's...
Second AK guy. 5.
A 2 and a 8.
Alright, so succeeded. As long as one of your rolls beats my best roll, that was my second guy. My third guy. A 6.
2 and a 3.
Alright, that's a wound table. D6 on the wound table.
5.
He is incapacitated.
And he's already severely wounded, so...
Yeah, but that just... No, they're not like cumulative.
Okay.
Second severe equals incapacitated check. Yeah, so 2 severe wounds equals an incapacitated check, but there's nothing here that says 2 incapacitated equal whatever.
Okay, so...
So he's just now incapacitated. So now now he can no longer make medical checks on himself, and his medical check became more difficult, and if he fails a bleed out check, he dies. So he is in worse shape, and he can't shoot anymore. He's now incapacitated. Okay, that was my third AK guy. Fourth AK guy, I'm switching to Nazarev. God damn these dice. 6. I'm not going to complain about my dice this time.
9.
Sweet.
So.
And last but not least, fifth and last AK guy, also on Nazarev. 5.
A 7.
Sweet.
So he's holding on for dear life.
That Bravo team, this is some Order of Lenin shit going on over here, man. They just need to get better, and things are about to get worse because these 3 guys are climbing up the hill. They're going to get there next turn.
Oh yeah, that's more AKs. And a machine gun. Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so medical check. Try to roll a d6 as best you can.
A 6.
Okay, a 6. He regains consciousness. He is now back to severely wounded, and he's now stabilized because you obviously succeeded.
He was out for a second there.
Yeah, and then like the other guy got over to him. Actually, Lazarev had to make the check. The reason you can make a check before movement is because you had another guy in the check. Another guy in the same hex. There's a reason for keeping you guys somewhat together. There's a reason for spreading your guys out. Explosive weapons. So again, it's tough choices. Okay, so because you made your whatchamacallit check, you don't have to make a bleed out check. There's no more close combat. We're ready to start turn 4. And I will check out what's going on in Mr. Chat. Okay, so before we get started, cool. Yep, so I said hello to everybody. Yeah, we're doing Afghanistan 1985. Afghanistan is something that people have been asking for once or twice. They've been asking us to do, when I say Afghanistan, I mean Soviet era Afghanistan. We've done both British, Australians, and Americans in Afghanistan a couple times now in a couple different systems. So I was like, you know what? Let's try something else. Again, people have been asking for, or one person's been asking several times. We've had several requests, let me put it that way, for 80s era Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Cool. All right, so let's keep going then. Thanks everybody for the likes, I definitely appreciate it. Turn 4, I have no vehicles. Awesome. So we can skip that. We now go straight to hostile pedestrians. Okay, I'm going to have to climb an elevation hex, so that costs me 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to move this smoke out of the way just for a second. You can take opportunity fire on them if you want, because they are technically moving.
Yeah, but technically I don't win anything by doing the opportunity fire.
You get to shoot at them before they shoot at you. -1. I'm literally just going through the rules in my head. I'm pretty sure you're right.
I still get to shoot at them first.
Yeah.
Nothing is coming back my way before I get to shoot at them again, so...
The difference is these guys definitely do not get to claim cover and concealment, so I have to kind of split this hex into 2 subgroups, because they spent 2 movement points getting in there. Actually, 1, 2, 3. They are straight out in the open, because they're like literally belly crawling over the top of that. They're climbing up nearly a sheer cliff. To get from K2 to L11 or L12 took them 2 complete turns, because they couldn't just go. For people in the chat, they couldn't just go like that. That's a sheer cliff, and that's that red elevation line. You cannot move over a cliff unless you're in a helicopter. So he had to spend all 3 movement points doing this, and then all 3 movement points doing that, because he's crossing 2 elevation lines each time he does that. So he's in the last 2 turns, he's climbed 4 elevation levels. He's gone from elevation level 1 to elevation level 5, and now he's finally where he needs to be. He's got line of sight on all these guys. The problem is he has no cover and concealment. So this cover and concealment bonus applies only to these bottom 4, not to those top 3. And that truck is burning, so don't worry about him. Alright. And of course, Juliet 12 can't see anything. Does this guy want to move anywhere? 1, 2, 3. Clean up the map a little bit. Okay, that's it for my movement. Over to you for your movement.
Yep. Bravo team is done.
Yeah, Bravo team is they're hunkered down, man. They are literally, it's like field dressings and brass casings, man. They're on that mountaintop. Alpha team, what's Alpha team up to?
So let's see, the two guys, the team leader, and what is the other guy in there?
The machine gunner, I think. Yeah, Polensky and So PKM and team leader.
The team leader will go for the objective.
Blocked. I'm making sure I have no opportunity fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. J12 is not a threat yet, but they're moving quickly.
And the machine gun will. Do we want to open up already, or do? Yeah, we want to open up already. He'll just go up to 08. I'll cost him 2 movement, but.
I got to, or I won't respect myself in the morning. The 3 guys that just climbed up the hill are going to take their opportunity fire on Oscar 8. You get to roll a d10 and add 1 to your results. So get ready to do that 3 times. I said d10 right. A d10 and add 1 to the result.
Yes.
Okay, so I got 2 AKs and a machine gunner in there. So first, AK number 1.
And they are -1 for opportunity.
Opportunity fire, yes, correct. So that is technically A5.
So the first is a 7.
Cool. Okay, second guy. He's a 4.
4.
You got a 4 as well?
Yep.
Okay, a tie is a miss. And last but not least, this is the PKM guy. He gets an additional d6.
At 3.
My highest is a 3. So with 2 ties, he dodged that opportunity fire. I shot off his rank insignia off 1 collar, and then I shot off his head. But I didn't hit him exactly. He's got holes in his parka, but other than that, he's fine. These are new pants. I took them off a cabin from the 321st just yesterday. That was close. There's clearly level 2. Level 2, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of range. Believe it or not, we do have line of sight because we're both on level 2. I just can't reach him. Yeah, so he popped up onto Oscar 8, and he's like, "Holy shit, there's a lot of bad guys over here." He can see everybody except Mike.
That was why I didn't push him any further forward.
Cool. Okay, so that will be my opportunity fire. Are you done with movement? Oh no, you got some guys up north.
Got the heavy weapons team up there that also really should get in on the some kind of action.
They can totally see Lima 12. Well, you've already been shooting at Lima 12, I think.
Yeah, with the sniper. So the sniper will stay put. We might as well move both.
They gotta move 1 hex closer so the RPG guy can engage.
Yep.
Just 1. Make sure that my weapons stay out of range, and make sure that you maintain the cover bonus.
Yep.
Nice.
As they seem to have a nice quiet spot now.
Yeah, you pretty much won in the north.
But there's a bit of pressure on in the south. for now.
Yeah, you need at least 1 or 2 good rolls, or else Bravo team's about to get wiped out, man. They're 1 or 2 lucky rolls for me, and this game's gonna go out of control on points. You got to do something about Hex Lima 12.
Which is why I wanted the RPG within range.
Speaking of which, we're now done with operator fire and my opportunity, or I should say operator movement and my opportunity fire. So we go to your movement phase. I'm sorry, your fire phase.
Yeah. So let's start with the Northern RPG.
Okay, he gets a D10 because he's not wounded. Oh god. I was debating about thinning out Hex Lima 12 a little bit, but then that would just give you opportunity fire. So either way, I was kind of screwed. My guys are kind of pinned down there. Nevertheless, 1 good RPG into Lima 12 would really be nice.
And suddenly the game kind of tilts.
Yeah. Alright, so a D10 at your convenience.
An 8.
And 8. Oops, there we go with the pop again. Sorry about that. 8. Okay, so that is, I get double defense dice, +1, but I can still only roll a 7. I'm pretty sure that takes out everything in that hex. 1.
That guy deserved the Order Lenin after this.
Order of Suvorov for, who was that? Bakayev? What the hell? What the hell's his name, man? Yep, Bakarev. Bakarev of Valor. There you go. Or at least of luck.
Oh, yeah.
Kaboom! Put this back. Get rid of that, get rid of that.
The danger of standing too close together.
Yeah, there's benefits and penalties. Depends on the situation.
But you were kind of...
Again, I knew that hex was super vulnerable, but the only way to thin it out was to sidestep into M13 a little bit. And number 1, I give away the cover bonus, or I should say concealment bonus. And then number 2, yeah, I open myself up to opportunity fire from Bravo team. Then again, given the way Bravo team's been shooting this whole game, I probably should have taken that choice. Because Alpha team now gets a shot at me, and we just saw what happened, man. The mother of all RPG shots. Kaboom! Okay, Alpha team just saved Bravo team again. Bravo team might not die. Okay, what else are we shooting at here?
The sniper will take a shot at J12.
Yep, because they're both on level 2, so they can technically... You're shooting over 2 valleys, but you've got it. You can also engage I-11, but if you're shooting at J12, I'm assuming you're shooting at the... There's 2 machine gunners in there.
I will take a machine gunner, yep.
Okay, so D12 +1 versus my nothing, because I did not... I'm just trying to get up there as quickly as I can. So,
yep.
D12 +1 against my D6.
Rolled an 8, so it becomes a 9.
Yeah, I roll a 1. You want to shoot the left eye or the right eye?
The right guy.
Okay. Put one through the right eye. Ricochets off the back of the skull, comes out through his left eye, because why not? Okay. Yeah, Alpha Team's dominating, man.
Well, they lost 1 guy.
That's true. That's true. One guy did take a CIA knife in the throat. And then there's a machine gunner here in 08 who dodged the mother of all opportunity fire shots. Because I suck. He cannot see M13. However, he can see J12, but I don't... Is he in range? 4, 5, 6... Yes, he is in range. He can also see I-11.
Well, we'll put everything into the machine gunner.
Okay, so that's going to be 4d8 versus my single d6. Who's walking away from this?
3 8s.
3 8s, dude. Oh, Mujahadeen.
That's Alpha Team.
That's Alpha Team. Allah's going to run out of virgins at this rate. Alright, that's it for him. And then we go to... Okay, now for a quick change of pace, we're going to go to the team that can't shoot straight. We're going to go down here to Bravo team. Alright,
yep.
Bravo team, what are we doing, man?
We'll start with the sniper on the RPG.
Sniper on the RPG. The world sniper who literally would starve to death if he had to go hunting.
Yeah.
Has he hit anything so far, or has he hit at least one guy?
Nothing there so far.
Okay.
And he rolled a 2, so becomes a 3.
Kirikov, he's probably not going to shoot. He's probably not going to hit anything this time either. So D12 plus 1, we got a modified 3. I'm assuming you're shooting at the RPG.
Yes.
I get 2d6. We're looking for a 2. At least one dice has to roll at least a 2. So basically I have to roll snake eyes. Yeah, he's fine. World's worst sniper. Kirikov, we're going to give you a mop when we get back to base. Hand in your Druganov. Here's a mop.
Or maybe a SMG instead.
Something where you can't hurt too many. Well, you can't hurt anybody with that sniper rifle, but the world's safest man with a sniper rifle. Okay, other fire?
We'll take the underslung grenade into that square.
That is Nazarev. Okay, he's okay. He rolls a single D10.
A 4.
Okay, first guy, the RPG gunner. A 3 becomes a 4, he survives, because they get the consumer bonus. Next, the AK guy in there. A 3 becomes a 4, he survives. Poor Bravo team. I shouldn't laugh, but then again, I am
we'll fire
you just blew up like 8 of my guys here. I think it's 12, so you deserve it.
Yep. We'll fire the RPG into it as well. That's a D8 at the moment.
Yep, a D8. Yep.
A 1.
Oh, okay. I won't even bother. Who's next? You still have a machine gunner and a team leader that hasn't fired.
We'll do the machine gunner. That's 46.
46 because he's wounded.
That's more like it. A 6.
Okay. 5 becomes a 6. He survives.
And last but not least, the team leader, 2d8.
8's right.
A 1 and a 2.
Oh my god.
Can you believe it?
Even if I roll a 1s, my 1s become a 2 because of cover and concealment. I told you, the Bravo team. Alpha team wins all the rolls. The Bravo team can't hit the broadside of a barn. Although...
all of Bravo team have shot at that guy, and he's still standing.
Multiple turns.
Multiple turns.
And he's still like, what? What's all that noise? The only reason he's still alive is because Alpha team can't see him yet.
Yup.
Alpha team's like a friggin' death machine up here. Okay, Mujahadeen.
Especially that RPG.
Oh my god. That's right, that's the same RPG guy. Dude, he's now killed 6 plus 7. He's killed 13 people. He's like Charles Bronson with that thing. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, he might be taking a trip to Moscow to talk to Mr. Splotch on the head.
Yup.
Mr. Gorbachev. You have given them all a new kind of perestroika. You have given them openness, except it's in the side of this head. Alrighty. RPG Clown fires into Papa 11. D8 versus your double D10s.
Yes.
Oh, here it comes.
So
I'm not gonna get better than that. 2 D10s. No. Both guys get to roll. Whoever you want to roll first.
Nazarev first. He rolled an 8.
He succeeds.
And a 4.
A tie is a miss, so he's okay. Next, Larov, you're
a 6.
Okay, he takes another wound, possibly. Roll a D6 on the wound table.
A 4.
A 4 is...
severe, but becomes incapacitated.
Yeah, severe. It's the second time he's been incapacitated. He got knocked out again. Holy crap. This guy's carrying home more metal than a junkyard. Alright, so he's now incapacitated again.
Other guy.
Oh, you're right, I'm in the wrong hex. I didn't bring anyone back to life, did I? Okay, cool. Cool, he's incapacitated again. And now the AK guy is going to try and finish him off with 2d6 versus your 2d10s. I get a 5.
7 and an 8.
Alright, you survived the second one. Alright, Nazareth gets a second medic, because nobody else can really... Oh, well, let me not get out of turn sequence here.
Yep.
Barely in range. Mr. I-11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2d6 versus your single d10 plus 1. Alpha Team Machine Gunner.
It becomes a 4.
Okay, my best was a 3, so survived. And then J12, I don't think they can see anything. Or they can see you, but I don't know if they can reach you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they can't reach you. Everybody else is accounted for or dead. Cool. So that's it for my fire phase. Nazareth, you have to save Laroff again with another d6 on the medic check.
A4.
A4, that stabilizes him. So he's incapacitated for good now.
No, it's 5 plus on incapacitated.
Oh. I'm thinking of the other one. I think you were correct. Yeah, plus 5, my 5 plus for medic check. I was thinking of this 3 plus. I forgot that target number goes up
Yep.
depending on your status. Okay, so he is, he has to make a bleed out check. So don't roll a 5 or a 6 on a d6.
F4.
He is hanging on, like, his blood pressure is down to like 80 beats. No, he's knocking on heaven's door, man. Seriously.
A collection of shrapnel.
Yeah, and he made his bleed out. He avoided death by bleed out by like 1 point.
Yup.
Alright, so he is definitely not shooting anybody. Cool, that takes care of that. The good news is there's only 2 more guys up there. And Alpha Team is getting into position.
The bad news is one of those guys is the immortal guy.
Yeah, one of those guys is Mujahadeen Muhammad Ali over there. Holy crap. Okay, I have no vehicles. I go to... see, I have no vehicles. So I'm going to go straight to pedestrian movement. Springtime asks, how about a war game of Second Korean War in 1989? Like a theoretical Springtime? Like a theoretical sort of a thing? That would be kind of interesting. Some of those Korean battle tanks, South Korean battle tanks, are kind of interesting. Either that or a theoretical invasion of Taiwan. Anything that gets Chinese tanks on the table, I'd be interested in doing. That's a big tank battle that nobody ever talks about. People talk about theoretical big Cold War tank battles. It's always... I mean, the Russians were
European.
never going to invade West Germany. Come on. I mean, that just wasn't going to happen. However, a reignition of Korea or the Chinese invading Taiwan or something, or China versus Vietnam Part 2, that did happen. What am I talking about? Could have happened. That war was technically going on until 1989.
That would be one for battle carry.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a game we haven't played in a while, and we don't want to forget about it. Battle carry.
But with those guys in K13, would it make more sense to go J13, K14, and stay out of sight of Alpha Team as much as possible?
1, 2,
and then K14 is a 3.
3. They're now on level 3. Now you still see them in J13 if you want to take opportunity fire.
Oh yeah, but it pulls you a bit further away from the heavy hitters.
Yeah, but the heavy hitters can see them while they're still in J13 if you want.
Yeah.
After they get to K14, yeah, you're on level 2, I'm on level 3, and I'm 1 hex back from the edge. You can't see me. But while I'm still on the edge in Juliet 13, you can take opportunity.
But it's still better than the stand in K13.
Yeah, K13 probably wasn't too smart.
Seen all the while.
1,
what you did was just climb up into K13.
Yeah, but now I'm in K14.
Yep.
So
that's why I asked
Yep.
whether it would make more sense for you.
It actually does. Now, my question to you is, do you want to take opportunity fire in J13?
I might as well.
Yeah, otherwise they're going to vanish. Once they get in the K14, they're out again. They're out
Yep.
of sight. All right, so I think your sniper can reach them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, so can your squad leader.
No.
Actually,
no,
gunner cannot see them because of K13. Your sniper is the only guy that can reach them. Because the other guy up here is the RPG gunner, right?
No, even better, he's the RPG.
That's what I'm saying. The RPG gunner.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but he's out of range. His range is only 8.
Yep.
However, your sniper has a clear shot into J13 if he wants. Now I have spent 1, 2, 3, so I get no terrain bonuses.
We'll take a shot, yeah.
Is that what they called it? The K1? That's like the aftermarket knockoff version of the M1 Abrams with the old 105mm springtime. I've seen pictures of it. I don't know if it has the Chobham armor, but it outwardly it looks like one of the old IPV M1s. I could be wrong about its exact properties though. But yeah, I mean, just anything that isn't just, M1s versus T-72s again. Nothing's wrong with that, but we did a shit ton of that during Gulf War. And I still have sand in my boots from Gulf War, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. All right, so I got a 3. Can you beat that?
That beats my 2.
Oh wow.
Now we know my snipers.
Damn, that's true. Okay, so all right, and I think that's going to be it for my movement. My whole army is only 4 guys, really. What's this guy going to do? He's going to duck down so nobody can kill him. He's going to hide.
Could the machine gunner take opportunity fire at him?
Actually,
at that
no,
point?
Because he was started off in I-11, and his first movement point takes him
takes him out of...
And yeah, nobody on level 2 can see him now. And these guys are all blocked by N11. 1, 2... He's just going to stay there, which gives him concealment. Okay, over to for your pedestrian movement.
Well, the Northern Heavy group will move M6, L6, K7.
Well, he goes downhill, then he spends 2 points.
No, they're moving to K7, so moving straight west, or more or less straight west.
Oh, they're heading. Okay, I got. Sorry. All right, so you started off in N5 and you want to get to K7. Gotcha.
Again, trying to do the dance around the cliffs so we can get up where we can actually see something.
No line of sight. Yeah, literally, there's no point in taking cover. Nobody can see you. Tell you what we can do, just to kind of move the game along. This helicopter can just occupy that hex for a second.
Yeah, else the team leader would have gone for it.
Yeah, it's going to take him like 2 or 3 turns to get there. I don't
Yes.
know if that's terribly fair. Basically, once you table all the Mujahedeen, if you table them, which I'm sure you will, you've got the rest of this turn and tomorrow and next turn 6. After that, yeah.
The machine gunner will move to L9.
Okay.
And the team leader down there will, in this case, move to O10. Oscar 10. Into the woods.
Yeah, it's not letting me pick up the piece.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, opportunity fire is blocked by trees in November 10. Cool. Okay.
And that's it for movement.
Yep, we go now to your fire phase.
Well, let's try some. Well, we'll start.
I think it's just Bravo team.
Yeah. We'll start with the underslung.
Okay, Mr. Hero Nazarev, do it. D10.
A 3.
Alrighty. First guy survives, be with double 3s. He's again +1. And hell yeah, he survives. Second guy. Okay.
Then we'll try to sniper the...
Lazarov is incapacitated. We go to your sniper, Kirikov, D12 +1. Cool.
9.
Alright, finally! Watch him roll double 6s, not that it matters. Alright, now he finally gets a bad roll, but 9 plus my, no matter what I roll, he is finally taken out.
He held on for dear life for a long, long time.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, then we have your machine gunner with 46s.
Yep.
Alright.
And he only got 1 target, so... A 6.
I'm sorry, I was getting a message. You said a 6?
Yep.
Oop. 6 and a 7 after my modifiers.
And then we got the team leader, 2d8s.
Yep.
Double 7.
I can technically beat that.
Yep.
Although I just missed. 2 5s become 2 6s. Does not tie your 7. He's out of gas.
We've been sitting on this hill getting our backside shot to bits, but some of the pressure seemed to have gone off.
Yeah, that's it. That's the battle on Mount. What are we gonna call this mountain? I don't know. Mount Nazarev. The Battle of Mount Nazarev is finally over. Nazarev saved this other guy. Who was that? He saved Larov's life twice.
Yep. Well,
Twice.
he can still croak.
That's true. They technically, he's not stabilized yet. I shouldn't say that. He didn't save him twice yet. Over to my gunfire phase. I don't think I have any now. So we'll go to medic check. 5 or 6, please.
A 4.
Okay, over to bleed out check. Do not roll a 5 or a 6.
A 5.
He passes away. Oh no. Slipped away into the night. That's 2 KIAs for Spetsnaz. Okay. That concludes the turn. Last turn of the game. Alright, so it is now my phase. 1, 2, 3. We're just going to try and hold these 2 objective X's. We're not really going to charge up this hill or do anything stupid. 1, 2, 3. Okay, over to you for your movement.
The heavy team will move to J9.
As soon as I can remember the alphabet. Got it.
Not that they get any shots off from there, but the machine gunner will be...
The machine gunner could hit some people from... Yeah,
K11.
Yeah. Come on, machine, let me select the piece. Okay, he can see
The
Hotel
solo guy.
12. Yeah. So Hotel 12 guy saw that with opportunity fire. 2d6 -1 because it's opportunity fire. The best I got was a 1, so you can't fail that. That's his shot.
And I won't fail it on a 9, definitely.
Yeah.
And his team lead will go down to L11 unless he can. Yeah.
Let me see what that heavy team was. Now there's no spot I can see that's going to give him a shot down that valley.
No. I was sitting there.
Okay, I apologize. You said team leader is going to go to
L11 straight down the road.
Alrighty.
Don't know if he can get a shot off on the Hotel 12.
Technically, I think so, because again, we always measure center of hex to center of the hex. So technically, yes. H12 is going to catch fire from 2 directions.
Oh yeah, I can't shoot yet, and
we're just about there because I only
yeah,
have 3
Bravo
guys
team.
left. Yeah, Bravo team gets to move if they want.
Only thing would be to pick them up, fly them to the far objective, but never mind that.
Yeah, speaking of vehicle movement, just to keep the game kind of fair, this helicopter, he's not going to get close enough to take opportunity fire from this guy. So, but he can at least get that objective X. So the Muj will end up the game with only possession of one objective X. Because you've got the other 4. 1, 2, 3, yeah, now 4.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, shooting.
Alright, I'm pretty sure he's dead, but who wants to shoot first?
We'll let the team leader shoot first. I mean, let him pull rank.
Do it, man. He's also alpha. Well, everyone's alpha team. Alpha team, do it. 2d10. I moved maximum movement, so
8. So yeah, I don't think you can make it.
I literally can't beat that. All right, and I'm pretty sure that wraps up the game because I have no fire coming back. There's no line of fire. There's no line of sight. There's no more medic checks. There is no more bleed outs. I think that wraps up the game.
Yep.
Now,
2 Spetsnaz down.
I'm literally trying to learn how to score these games, so I have no idea if these victory conditions are right. But just for me to start designing these a little bit better.
Yep.
That's 5. I'll just put them in rows of 5. Holy crap, there's a lot of friggin' dead Mujahadeen in here. Do not put in the CIA guy, he is captured. He's going to wind up in a basement of a fort somewhere. I am Colonel Zaitsev. I am regional commander of this district. You wish to test me? Good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Helicopter.
1 helicopter is 18. $20, 22. Light wound does not count. Point for severe. There's no incapacitated. There's 1 kill, so I got 2 kills and 6 aircraft crashed and 1 objective. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 24 plus 2 severe wounds, 28 total points. Correct? 2 kills. That's 12. Okay. 1 aircraft crashed. 18. I own 1 hex. That is 24, and 2 severe wounds, 25, 26, 27, 28. This is less about who won and who lost than am I starting to get a handle on how to score these? Because scoring these Sitrep skirmish scenarios has been a problem.
Yeah.
Who wins, who lost, or whatever. Oh, you lost one, that means a draw. You lost two, that means a loss. Except unless you capture the enemy leader. So yeah, there's been a bit of difficulty as far as that part of it goes. All right, so what did I say? 28. Okay, 28 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25, 26, 31. 5 points for capturing the.
Plus the 2 technicals.
Oh yeah, thank you. And apparently there was a guy in that technical. Sorry about that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 34. So 28 to 34. Spetsnaz win. That's a lot closer than I thought.